Hello good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and welcome to the very first entry into the top 5, well, I guess you could say the final 5 of all the clips that you guys have sent in for the Oh Crap Moments replay contest. Now before we get into this replay, we're going to get into it. Shifty here has to get into position and such, so let me just explain something. This is video number 5, this is going to be titled video number 5, and then Shifty's name will be behind it. Does this mean Shifty has not won? No, this does not mean Shifty has not won. This simply means this is the 5th video that I have decided to upload. These videos are going to be uploaded in no particular order. I have already selected the winner, and I am not going to give any sort of hint as to which replay is, in my opinion, the best oh crap moment, simply because you guys still have to vote on it. And if for some reason you guys vote for your favorite oh crap moment and it's the same one that I selected, whoever came next in the vote will get the $10 of doubloons. The winner will of course get $20 worth of doubloons. Now again, I just want to reiterate, this does not mean Shifty has not won. This simply means he is the first of the clips that I have decided to upload onto YouTube and onto the channel. So in the coming weeks, these may be all 5 in a row. I can't English tonight. However, I highly doubt that I will just upload all 5 clips in a row. That would get a little boring for the channel. I'm not saying these clips are boring, but I imagine you guys would like to see some, some of my gameplay and some of the shenanigans and the videos that I usually put out, rather than just getting 5 straight replays in a row. So it's probably going to be replay, normal video, replay, normal video, then another replay. So anyway, on to Shifty here. He is in the Tier 7 American Premium Cruiser Atlanta, the now what I like to call the mini Woosta, or the pre-Woosta cruiser. He's heading on over to the A-Cap. He's got a couple ships with him. He's got a Swicka with him. There's 2 battleships behind him. Well, one's heading in this direction. And he's already being detected and targeted by 3 other players. Up there's a Yugamo, there's a Mayoko, there's a Rishido. So already things are going kind of south for Shifty here. You guys that have played the Atlanta, or anyone who's come up against it knows, it is an absolute machine gun, but it has absolutely no armor. It is probably one of the easiest cruisers in the game to citadel this side of the Omaha. So he does a very wise move here. He doesn't fire, he decides to get into some cover, which, in an Atlanta, is a very wise decision. He's already got into the smoke. And Atlanta with a destroyer or another cruiser that has a smoke screen, and they work together, that's a very scary combo right there. Because of the Atlanta's insane fire rate, and then being able to be undetected, it's spooky for anyone on the receiving end. You see there's a Musashi there that's already trying to push up, the Tier 9 Yamato without its secondary and AA guns. So Shifty is targeting him first, trying to get some fire started on him, because if that thing comes around the corner and blasts Shifty, he's probably going to be done in one hit. Although I'm not really sure what this Musashi is doing. He's kind of just waggling his turrets around at the moment. And as you can see, Shifty is, I don't know his exact captain build, so I'm going to say it's IFA. Hey, Yugamo, what you doing there, buddy? As I'm sure you guys know, Atlanta is a very, very proficient destroyer killer. And sure enough, that Yugamo decides to poke his stern, actually, because he's coming in reverse. His stern a bit more, and Shifty just immediately starts to tear into him. Although not fast enough to save his North Carolina, which unfortunately just went down. And that was his battleship support for this cap. Also, there's a Mayoko 9 kilometers. Oh, hi there, Richelieu. Oh no. Ooh, the Richelieu did not have AP loaded, so that saved Shifty some. All they did lose a big chunk of health. And a little bit known fact to most people, Atlanta actually has torpedoes that just show crappy. Hardly anyone ever actually uses them. And man, here's the wreckage of his friendly NorCal sinking there. That Yukimo is also sinking there. And this Richelieu is still pushing Shifty. Shifty is switching over to AP because the Richelieu is close enough now to be susceptible to the Atlanta's AP, but he didn't shoot at Shifty. Although the Miyako is still shooting at Shifty. And Shifty got all his torpedo hits on that Richelieu, and there goes the Richelieu. Shifty just absolutely decimated him in Atlanta. It's kind of embarrassing that Richelieu then gets a big hit from the Mayoko. Loses his steering gears. One of his turrets. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, he's been losing turrets almost every time he's been hit in the Atlanta here. Now he is tearing into this Mayoko. He is stuck here. He goes forward. Looks like his gear. I can't really see which way his steering gears are shifted, but he's going to start turning in that direction. Right now, he can get most of his gun from the Mayoko. Now that one other turret is now back in action. The Mayoko, however, is choosing to ignore Shifty still. I'm not exact. Oh, nope, here he comes. He's looking at Shifty. It's an easy kill. Atlanta on 4,000 hit points, and he didn't shoot at Shifty. I don't know why you wouldn't shoot at the Atlanta that's chipping away slowly at your health. Oh, now he is. There we go. And 2,900 health. Puts out that fire right away. Ain't got any health to play with. He is still just determined to take this Mayoko with him. And the Mayoko didn't shoot at him again. Huh. And he's burning quite nicely under Shifty's ever-constant rainbow of HE. And the Mayoko, again, choosing not to shoot at Shifty rather than to shoot at the ships behind him. The Mayoko is perfectly broadside onto Shifty, and yeah, he's probably too far away for the Atlanta's AP to do anything substantial to him. And I don't think he has IFHE because a lot of these shots are shattering on the Mayoko. And there we go. Shifty took out a Tier 8 battleship and then a Tier 7 cruiser on top of a destroyer within the matter of, what was that, 4 or 5 minutes? But now he's down to 1,733 health. Not the most secured Atlanta at this point. I'm sure it's probably being held together by duct tape and probably a couple of strong men just holding the bulkheads together after taking a blast from the Richelieu, who probably should have had AP loaded. But it did chunk him pretty bad. Then the Richelieu didn't load AP and didn't shoot at Shifty again. But the Mayoko sure tore into him there initially, but decided not to continue to shoot at him, even though he was clearly the biggest threat to the Mayoko's life at that point. But the Mayoko, I guess, didn't agree. Anyway, so Shifty's still alive. He's got 262 target hits, 3 kills, 1 cap, and first blood so far. That's right, but ladies and gentlemen, he's not done. There's still 11 minutes left in this match, and his ship still floats. For now, the guns all still works. I'm surprised he didn't lose any guns in that fight. Well, I guess it's hard to lose guns when the enemy stops shooting you right before you die. I mean, that's very odd. If you get nothing else from this replay, just always remember, just finish the ship off. I know people complain about kill stealing or kill securing, but hey, if it gets their guns out of the fight faster, get them out of the fight, because a low health Atlanta is perfectly capable of doing just as much damage as a full health Atlanta. Alright, we're going to fast forward the replay here. He's just transitioning from the A cap to the B cap. As you can see, the teams, his team does have the point advantage right now. However, they are slowly catching up. Well, the enemy team is slowly catching up to them in terms of ships. They're about the same. And here is something very interesting happens here. The first time I watched this, keep an eye on that New Orleans right there. That 1 of 9 fella. And I'm not saying he's a bad player, but what he decides to do here in a moment is questionable to say the least. Alright, we're going to zoom. We'll fast forward it a bit more. Alright, there we go. Shifty saw that Nelson and like, that's a battleship I can burn. And just took a couple pot shots on him. Also a Tier 8 Cleveland coming around that corner right there. Shifty's doing the very Atlanta thing. finding the closest and most convenient island waifu, and he's going to hug her quite hard. And, I mean, that's honestly the best thing he can do in this situation. He's in a very low health Atlanta, and he's in a tier 8 game. So, I mean, what else is he supposed to do? Even if you were in a tier 7 game, or tier 6, heck, if you were top tier in the Atlanta this low in health, I would definitely be hiding for sure. And that Nelson has to poke his head around the corner. There's an Akatsuki right there that decides to just stop and open fire on the Nelson with his guns. I'm not sure if he was waiting for his torpedoes to, like, maybe his torpedoes were a couple seconds off of reload, but just sitting in front of a Nelson with 16-inch guns is probably not the best thing to increase your lifespan in the Akatsuki. And here's our friend in the New Orleans right now, who's decided to just charge the Nelson and completely missed that battle shot right there. And the New Orleans does not have torpedoes. None of the American cruisers do past, I believe, the Omaha at tier 5. So he gets broadsided by the Nelson, who, luckily for the New Orleans, only had HE loaded. And Nelson probably could have completely vaporized the New Orleans if he had that British AP loaded. And Nelson's also deciding now is the best time for him to print a new ship. And as you can tell, Shifty is not letting up on the Nelson at all. Which is a good thing, but unfortunately Orange Jesus is just saying no, and he's not starting any fires on the Nelson. Most of his shots are either shattering, he's got 2 pins now, I'm assuming that's just his HE painted with superstructure. Oh, and what a surprise, the Nelson decided to delete the New Orleans. And now Shifty's team is behind on ships. However, they are ahead on points, and they have all 3 caps. Pretty dang good. Good positioning for Shifty's team right now. They got all the cats, but they do not have the ship advantage, which means the enemy team can now push with the confidence of, they have 1 more destroyer, 2 more battleships, and Shifty is detected now. He's at very low health in a Atlanta, and there's some shots coming in from that Massachusetts, and just missing Shifty's Atlanta. Shifty hugs up next to his island waifu, and Shifty is now down to 573 hit points. He just popped his radar there, probably to attempt to spot any destroyers. And look at Jervis. So now Shifty's in the unenviable position of being in a Atlanta with 3 digits of health left, and he's still trying to contribute to where he can. He's got a nice line of sight here on that Jervis, getting his rainbows going. And that one fell a bit short. I'll let that Mass bum rushing that Nagato. Mass just sunk Nagato. Not looking good for Shifty's team. They are 3 ships to 5 right now. However, they still have all 3 caps. Which is, if I was an enemy destroyer, I would definitely be going dark, trying to rush and grab a cap. There's still 5 minutes left in the game. Plenty of time for those 2 destroyers to at least, for one to cap 1 cap and at least contest another to hold off the enemy team's victory here. Well, okay, in this case, Shifty's team. Now look, another New Orleans just came into range. Shifty wastes no time putting some HE fire down on it. He tries to get that Jervis, but he just doesn't have the angles to do the island. And he is still getting shots on target in a very, very low health Atlanta. Now he's not moving either, so these destroyers know where he's at. The battleships for sure knows where he's at. It's not hard to follow the golden rainbow of HE back to its source. And they've got to know he's at low health. I mean, that I think what was it? Massachusetts attacked him there on the stern and almost killed him. So they know he's at low health, but no one's doing anything about him. And the enemy team is just refusing to push up. They're all staying back along the CD line. And Shifty's team is now 20 points away from the win. And it's at this point when the enemy team's destroyers finally decides that, hey, maybe I should cap something. Shifty firing some, I'm assuming they're just preventative torpedoes, to prevent any destroyers from bull rushing Shifty. But hey, Shifty teams wins. And wow, that that game had so many, shall we say, interesting moments in it. That Richelieu popping around the corner, point blank range, shoving all 8 barrels into Shifty's face, and firing HE, but then not choosing to fire AP. Then that Mayoko just completely ignoring Shifty. Even though he had all that going for him, he still got down to very, very low health in his Atlanta, and he kept in the fight. He didn't go and hide and not contribute. He still contributed to the team, and certainly contributed to their victory there at A, considering he took out 3 ships in an Atlanta. And it's not like he was hiding from them and killing them via HE spam over the island like he was doing there at the end. No, he was up there in the front, doing damage, taking ships out. And man, Shifty, you got a lot of luck, I gotta say. You need to go buy a lottery card or something, or maybe go buy some containers. You'll probably get the Missouri if you don't have it already. But man, stuff didn't go his way, stuff went his way, and he did the best that he could with the situation that he was in, and ultimately his team won, certainly due to his contribution. So good job, Shifty. And again, this is entry number 5 into the replay contest. You should see entry number 4 coming up on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. And thank you all for watching, and hit that like button if you like the video. Comment if you think this should be the viewer choice or this should be the overall winner. I know you don't have anything to compare it to just yet, but again, keep tuned for Wednesday's replay. So again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch all of you guys in the next one.